Hey y'all, what's up? JamiThatsMe here. Welcome back to the channel. Let's talk about Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, okay? So during this week's episode, Beauvais decided that she wanted to do a sisterhood soiree or something like that, kind of like a spin on what Sutton was talking about, the sisterhood. And as she's getting ready for that, she decides to FaceTime Dorit to let Dorit know, like, hey, Garcelle stopped by the house the other day. And what she let me know was that Kyle shared a message with them that she had in her phone between her and PK. And she kind of made it seem like it could be a bit more to the story and that they might talk about more than just jokes and memes. So Dorit is like, well, wait a minute. Are you sure? Because I just got off the phone with Erica not too long ago. And when Erica told me about it, she made it seem like it was nothing too big. It wasn't a big deal, nothing major. It was nothing of what you guys are saying right now, right? And Beauvais is just like, I don't know, you might want to look into it. You might want to check on it because it's coming off a bit differently for me. All right. Now, I feel like Garcelle went to tell this information to Beauvais because she wanted Beauvais to actually be the one to take it back to Dorit. I don't really fault Garcelle for this, considering the fact that they always up and down, or more so down than they are up, okay? I mean, she just got an attitude with Garcelle the other day when Garcelle was trying to check in to see how she's feeling. So if Garcelle would have took this information to Dorit, it's not a guarantee Dorit would have took it well. She probably would have felt like she was being messy or something. Ain't no telling, okay? So maybe it was best that Beauvais be the person to carry this information back to Dorit. So I get why Garcelle did that, in my opinion, okay? So anywho, Beauvais goes on to say, listen, I don't understand why is it that she could read the message to everybody, but not to everybody at the same time. She read it to those ladies, but she can't read it to me. She can't read it to you. Now, some part of me is like, Beauvais, maybe you want it read to you so you can go back and translate it back to Dorit as you're doing with Garcelle. But at the same time, I feel like the person she should be reading it with, period, should be Dorit, because that's Dorit's husband. So later on, when Dorit says, like, wow, like when they're at Beauvais' house, she's like, wow, so everybody gets to have this conversation about something that really doesn't involve them, but more so involves me and my husband. Like, who's going to wake up and say something? All right. So I feel Dorit just a bit. Okay. So Kyle tells Kathy about it. Okay. Before they get ready to head over to Beauvais' house, she's like, girl, listen, I'm stressed. You know, Dorit is coming at me about me continuing to be in conversation with PK. And I feel like she's trying to make it seem like it's something that it's really not. And Kathy is just like, girl, listen, I don't have time for that. I'm having me a good old time and I have me a bit of peace of where I'm at. Seems like I'm laying out on the beach. So what I could tell you is, girl, try not to let it bother you too much. Like I'm not trying to let you bother me too much by calling me with your problems, okay? I don't know how to help you or what to tell you, but that, okay? So good luck. Okay, good luck to you. So that's that. Kathy was not bothered, and Kathy was not going to let nobody ruin her day, and she advises Kyle to do the same, okay? So they get to the spa day at Beauvais' home, and I don't know why when Dorit gets there, she automatically comes for Kyle's outfit, and she says, is this comfortable? She says, is this comfortable? And Kyle look at her like, don't talk to me, girl. Girl, I'm not, because I'm gonna cuss her out. I'm just letting y'all know. It's okay. I'm really getting, either I'm a cry or I'm a cuss. And right now, I'm in the moment where I'm probably gonna cuss her the hell out. But I'll just save crying for later, okay? But all right. So Kyle just looked at Dorit, and I thought that was super funny, okay? What I loved about this event that Beauvais had was the black people that she had. She had the black chef. She had the black chef. She also had the black young lady. I can't think of her name. I see her on Instagram. And she seemed to be somebody that may help her out with this type of planning or whatnot. I really hate that I can't think of her name, but you guys may remember she has the bob. I like the masseuses, okay? The people that came out to give the massages, all black men. I loved it. Love. I loved it, okay? It was giving black ass house. It was giving Beauvais' house, all right? So I definitely like that, all right? So as they are getting their massages, you know, Dorit walks over to Garcelle so that she could talk to her. And I'm like, listen, not you sat up here and interrupt this lady's relaxation. Now, I probably would have had some things to say to you, Miss Dorit. Okay, like, girl, can we talk about this a little later? I'm about to get these feet rubbed, these legs rubbed on. I'm about to, at some point, get these shoulders and this back hit. All right, I need all areas of this body relieved of stress. And here you coming, interrupting that, bringing me some stress. Like, what's going on? All right. So they ended up talking. And actually it really did end up being worth it. Okay. Some stress was relieved between the two of the ladies, and we'll see how long this is going to carry on. And I'm hoping that it lasts between them, because I am kind of over the Garcelle versus Dorit situation. So Dorit comes over. She talks with Garcelle. She takes accountability for how she may have shown up with her and how she may have lacked certain things, and not reading the room or whatever the case is. And Garcelle truly received it. And I feel like in that moment, and I believe Garcelle even mentioned it, that was the first time she truly felt like Dorit took on ownership and accountability for the things that she may have done in the past. Okay. And it was really a good moment between them, in my opinion. Okay. I really appreciate Dorit being vulnerable with Garcelle in that moment, even though I feel like that would be a bit difficult for me if I ain't really rocking with you. Okay. Just like if it was Garcelle in that situation, if she ain't rocking with Dorit, it would be difficult for her too, I'm sure, to open up with somebody that you're not really fond of. So I appreciate Dorit for letting that guard down a bit and letting Garcelle know, like, girl, I'm lost. I'm not going to hold you, even though I'm holding you just a little bit because you're trying to get that massage, and I'm holding you up from feeling the full capacity of it. But listen, I am lost at this moment. I don't really know what to do. And Garcelle says, listen, all right, any advice that I could give to you is just making sure that you keep things as normal as possible, basically, when it comes to the kids. Like, the most important factor of this overall situation are the children, okay? And it was just a really good, nice moment between both of those ladies, and I'm loving to see it. I am, and I'm wondering, how is this going to show up later, especially with the tide turning just a bit, where Garcelle is starting to see a bit of what Dorit is saying. Just a little bit, okay? As far as, ooh, Kyle, I was going to be on your side with this, but when you say certain things in this message, it does appear that you guys have had way more conversations about PK and Dorit than just sending memes and jokes. And I would believe a lot of the memes and jokes that you guys are sending back and forth are likely things of what y'all have talked about as well. Not just random funny things. Kyle can appreciate this. PK can appreciate this laughter at this time, but also memes and jokes that may relate to conversations that you guys have had about your spouses, period. Okay. So anywho, Bose talks with Kyle about the text, okay? She talks with Kyle about the text that she learned about from Garcelle, and Bose is clocking her, okay? Bose is talking to Kyle, and she's just like, listen, so Garcelle, okay? Garcelle came to my house the other day, and Garcelle told me that you read the message between you and PK. You read it aloud, so I'm just a little confused, okay, as to why you felt like you could tell everybody else, but you didn't think that you could really tell me or Dorit. What's that about? So Kyle tells her what the message was said, because of course Bose would like to know. So Kyle says, I can tell you from what I can remember, okay? She didn't pull out her phone at the time. She said it, and it sounds like Kyle had a pretty good memory of the things that she said in that message. And so, yeah, girl, meanwhile, you had Sutton eavesdropping. I thought that was funny. Now, at first, I was kind of like, Sutton, like, girl, why are you all in them folks' tea? But I mean, we could go on to appreciate it, because Sutton ended up getting closer to the ladies, and she's like, oh, girl, well, that's not all that you said, Kyle. All right. Because Kyle went on to say something about, I'll never repeat anything that you've told me. And Bo said, that right, that's incriminating. That piece right there, I don't know about that, right? So, of course, Sutton gets closer. She's like, that's not all that you said. And Kyle is like, girl, what? Like, that is not cool. Like, what you're doing right now is not cool. I'm giving her what all I've said. Yeah, but it's more that you say it. That's to it. Like, there's more that you have said that you can talk about right now, Kyle. And Kyle's just like, don't do that. We're having a conversation and you're jumping in. Like, that's not cool, right? So Bose asked her to read the text, and Kyle gets upset because she's like, I hear what you're saying. Now I want you to read the text verbatim, okay? Kyle gets upset. She acts calm. She excuses herself for a second, and she talks about it in the confessional where she felt insulted. Why? You feel insulted for what? I don't think you should really feel insulted. She just asked you to read the text. And I guess you feel insulted because even though you're telling her what it said, I guess her asking for you to read it means that she's not trusting the words that you're saying. So maybe that's why Kyle was feeling a bit of, insulted. All right. So Sutton tells her that she pulled out the phone and no one asked her, girl, Sutton, that was funny, okay? Because Sutton was not lying. Sutton be on some bold stuff, child. She really do. Sutton said, you pull out the phone when no one asked you to, and you have not lied about that. I don't recall a single person. I feel like how you found the message that you wanted to just go ahead and get it over with, and let me just get them the last message that I said. But I think Dorit probably want to go through the message thread, even though it's kind of like, girl, scoot back. Okay, don't be trying to go out through that lady phone like that. But then at the same time, that he's her husband, it's a lot. Okay, so anywho, Erica jumps in and she's just like, whoa, wait a minute, ladies. You guys want to be all in her phone? Like, even police have to get warrants and stuff to go through a person's phone. Like, that's just a lot. Like, you guys really need to back up. Like, okay, you're trying to make it something bigger than what it is, and it's really not that. Yada yada yada. Okay, so Erica gives her 2 cents or whatever. She thinks that the only people that should be having a conversation about this is Dorit and Kyle. Well, then if that's how you feel, Erica, why didn't you tell Kyle that at the table at Chuck E. Cheese? Why didn't you say, don't read it to me, girl. I don't want to have anything to do with it. I don't want to know about it. I think that you should take this message and take it back to Dorit, because it's more important for her to hear it than us, because we can't help you in the relationship of Dorit and Kyle. The only person that can really help you for real is y'all two. So instead of telling us and then having the conversation get translated through different people of how things went, just go to her and have the conversation yourself. But no, Erica, you participated in it. You were very open and ready and all ears to hear what she has to say. And then now that somebody else wants to hear it, even though they're asking for it, and last time you guys didn't ask Kyle for it, you want to sit up there and say, whoa, wait, guys, no. Like, girl, no ma'am. All right. So Kyle starts crying and starts acting like the victim. And I just don't see Kyle as the victim at all. I'm over her tears. I'm not moved by her tears at all, Kyle. I do feel like we're in this situation because of you. You're the one that chose to read it to everybody else other than the person you need to read it to, in my personal. So why are you mad about it? Yeah, like your actions are giving guilty. So Kyle reads the text eventually and says she's leaving afterwards. Okay. She reads the text, and when she gets to the part about not repeating anything he told her, she says that she was talking about things as far as production was concerned, and she couldn't say anything now because they were filming. It was so weird. It was like we were talking about production and I can't say it now because production is here. It was weird and it wasn't believable. Period. It just wasn't. Okay. So Garcelle goes to the confessional and she says, so she doesn't think her message has anything to do with production. She doesn't think it has anything to do with production. And I agree, because Kyle also says, as she's reading the message, she says the day they separated, she says, she reads like a few messages before she gets to the block of what she said. And right before she reads her block, she says the day that you guys got separated, or either it was the day after, one of the two. So either way it go, it wasn't about production, Kyle. It was about PK and Dorit. That's what it was about, because you said the day they separated, which also confirms for me that you've already known what was happening between them. So when Dorit fronted you about still being in contact with PK, you said out of your own mouth that you are so much of a girl's girl that if it bothered her, or you knew that they were dealing with whatever issues, you would stop talking to him. So then you just proved yourself to be a liar again. Okay, because you knew out of your mouth, you said that the day they were separated, that's when you sent the information to him, right? You sent that block. So you already knew what it was, but yet you continue to interact and continue to have conversations with him. So therefore, you're not the girl's girl that you claim to be. Okay, you are a liar. That's what it's given. All right. So Kyle, in my opinion, looks super guilty. She cries even harder. She storms off. She goes outside. It was giving Brittany from Salt Lake City just a bit, and I did not want anyone to run after her. As Dorit was about to go, because I was Sutton. Would not have wanted to go. Bose would have had to pull me too. But for Dorit to want to go after her, and Erica is still walking behind, and she's like, well, she's not going to listen to you. You don't know what she's going to do. So can you stand down just a little bit, Miss? It should be a conversation between Dorit and Kyle. Anywho, I'm glad they had their one-on-one eventually, okay? Next thing you know, everybody was outside the door. Kyle's upset. She's trying to chastise people, talking about at our grown age, we're doing this, we're doing that, as if she hasn't been doing stuff that makes no sense at her grown age as well. Anything that she could do to escape a bit of accountability. But okay, Miss Kyle. Anywho, so Kyle's trying to condemn the ladies and stuff, and Erica is being so team Kyle right now, saying she knows she didn't do anything wrong and all of that. It was giving a bit of annoying. All right. So Kyle says if they were in a good place and Dorit asked her not to talk to him, she would have not talked to him and said she didn't know anything. Now, I do feel like she's still lying about the didn't know anything. But also, I do feel like y'all weren't in a good place, okay? So she probably felt like, at least I'll talk to PK. I'm not talking to you. It's something that she's always done. So I get that small bit of it, but don't sit in her face and pretty much lie. You could have said this here from the beginning. So Dorit clocked her, okay? She clocked her girl thing in the confessional and said that she was not a girl's girl. And Dorit opens up about PK and how he talks to her and how he's treated her. And when she opens up to Kyle about how he shows himself up to be, Kyle is acting like Lisa Barlow and Meredith Marks, acting as though I haven't seen that side of him, so I don't believe it. Is it possible that you're the problem? Is what it was given, okay? And so she thinks that Dorit is taking advantage of the situation to drag PK. Now, I'll be honest, when, Dorit went to have the conversation with Kathy about him, and she was talking about his drinking and everything, I felt that way myself. I was like, is she doing this to like try to muddy this man's name just a bit? And a lot of you guys were like, no, he actually has been very honest himself about his drinking issues. So Dorit really is not lying, because he's already said it before. So when I look at this situation, I'm like, consider it. She's probably telling the truth about this as well. I mean, she did tell Bose about the counseling situation and how he just start yelling at her and saying how he doesn't want to be married to this woman and all of this other stuff. And actually, I do believe Dorit, because also just that how he pulled her to come to that restaurant, would not allow her to get a word in. He came off, I want to say sassy, demure just a bit, because he maintained his energy to not snap off on her in a public setting and in front of the cameras. But at the same time, he brought her there to SHI on her and to not allow her to get a word in. So I believe what she says about the counseling session, and I am pretty sure he talks to her any kind of way. Now, is it one-sided? I mean, I'm sure she probably say some stuff to him too. Okay, because I refuse to believe that he gets to call her a stupid bitch or whatever, and she doesn't say he's a dumbass cunt behind it. Like, I refuse to believe that she doesn't follow it up with that. So they both may say things to each other, but to just automatically assume Kyle as her friend, that you just don't believe her because you haven't seen that side of him. I'm sure you probably said some things about Mauricio. And if somebody said they don't believe it because they don't see that side of him, you'll be upset. So I just don't think that's really fair of Kyle, in my personal. But y'all let me know, all right? So Kyle and Dorit, Kyle denies talking about their relationship, okay, meaning PK and Dorit is like, but you have. Like, you're sitting in my face pretending and acting like you guys don't talk or any of that, when I know for a fact there's been times where he's gone to you guys' house and talked to you in your face about us. So why would he not talk to you via text? Like, come on. Another indicator of Kyle showing up as a liar. Maybe Kyle's so stressed out that she's blocked certain things out of her head and she doesn't remember. Who knows, okay? So Kyle says Dorit achieved what she wanted once she got in the confessional. She says people are focusing on text messages, making it more than what it is, focusing on what she's doing, and not focusing on how bad of a friend Dorit has been to her. Kyle, baby, we are here because of you. That's just how I feel about that. We are here because of you. I don't think Dorit got what she wanted, because in all honesty, after you said what you said, Dorit didn't ask you to show any more messages. You chose to do that. And when you showed those messages, it backfired on you. Why are you mad at her again? I can't. It's another moment to play the victim, okay? So Bose is realizing that Dorit is the common denominator in a lot of stuff. Now, where this is going to lead to, I don't know, but she just highlighted it. They made sure to show that to us, but it was what it was, okay? Sutton pulls up. Sutton tries to have a conversation with Dorit in that moment, saying, even though we don't really get along, we'll always be able to get along at the same time, all right? Dorit did kind of dismiss her. So when Erica laughs and says, "Are you listening?" She's like, I said agreed, but it was a dismissive agreed, okay? So that's where they are. It was a bit funny, okay? Sutton's facials were hilarious. So Sutton pulls up on Garcelle like the next day or later that week or whatever. She tells her that she did not like how Kyle reacted, how she stormed out, how she talked to them, treated them like, they were on the lower end or whatever. She didn't like that, okay? She says she's not in a place where she's going to be kissing her ass, and she's definitely going to be telling her about herself soon. And I said, we shall see. We shall see, honey. Now, Dorit and Erica link up. All right. They go to this really nice spa facial location, whatever, get a facial, all of that. So Dorit lets Erica know, like, I don't really like the fact that you picked a side. And if you did it, that's how it seemed, because you were running behind Kyle and you were telling her that that she didn't do anything wrong. And you don't know that for sure. Meanwhile, Erica is trying to convince Dorit that she doesn't know for sure. And actually, Erica says this first. Erica says first that she doesn't know for sure what those messages entail. And then Dorit is like, and you don't know for sure that she's done nothing wrong. You don't know that, but you're still running up behind her and overly supporting her. And, Erica's not really trying to choose a side, but it kind of is seeming like you're choosing a side just a bit. It actually seems like to me that Erica may have had a conversation with Kyle earlier in the season. And Kyle probably didn't like how when it came to the friendship with them, she pretty much was supporting Dorit more, right? When Dorit would get upset, leave the table, Erica would be following right behind her. And maybe Kyle told her about herself, and now Erica's trying to show more support to Kyle in this moment. And maybe Erica's just at a place where she's finding a very tough time trying to balance the two. And now she wants to say, well, I think I just need to fall back from the friendships. I'm trying to be a neutral party, but maybe I just need to fall back. Maybe you should. Because again, it's their situation. And I don't feel like the other ladies are trying to force them to talk. Okay, or choosing one side. Well, I feel like Bose would definitely be a person I think that's choosing a side more than the other. But she's already been friends with Dorit the whole time. So she hasn't really been a friend of Kyle. She's just now getting to know Kyle. So maybe that makes more sense. You know what I'm saying? But either way, Erica is thinking about falling back and allowing them to figure it out. And I think that's the best thing for her to do. Okay. Erica does say that the message does sound a bit more suspicious, but she needs more proof as well. And if you know that and you knew that, why would you sit up there and still make it appear as though she did nothing wrong? Why would you do that? Ain't that something? Anywho, so Dorit tells her she doesn't call it like she sees it when it comes to Kyle. And she's like, I don't know what it is. Maybe you're afraid of her, is what she says in the confessional. And I'm like, well, hell, you were. It took you many a years for you to finally get to this place with Kyle where you're really being very honest about how you feel. And I think that may be the same thing with Erica. I also think Erica is in a space where she don't really want no problems with a whole lot of people right now. So that's where they are. All right, Dorit, let's keep going. So I feel like that's pretty much it. Okay. The end of the story is that Erica's not trying to pick a side. She's going to fall back, let the ladies figure their situation out. And I think in due time, they will figure it out. Okay. I do think that they will figure everything out. So we'll see how everything is going to play out. But I thought that it was messed up for Kyle to try to come at those ladies and say, oh, we're doing this at our big grown age, this, that, and the other. But you was just over at Bose's house trying to talk down on Dorit just a little bit. So it's like, girl, everybody does it. All y'all do it. It's okay. Just accept the fact that you got yourself tied up in a situation and it backfired on you and it just doesn't look good. Okay. But either way, honey, good luck. That's all that I have on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. You guys can leave your thoughts and comments down below. I'm Jami, that's me. And of course, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.
Tell him I preach to the choir. Stand with my feet to the fire. Give all the glory to God. Stand in the midst of these haters, I'm silent, nobody can stop me. Just gotta check in my notification, them numbers hit like it's a proxy. Cashed out at the ATM, and the ATL, they done made a gym. I've been kicking doors like the ATF, got them trying to clone me like Agent Smith. Game time, I invaded gym, high elevated, I can face the rim. Putting shots up, I got laser focus, about to take it over, I'm Invader Zim. On a trip to Florida like it's A&M. Who that nigga, man, they say I'm him. Spit the truth, never wasting film, I can feel it pull